Funding for Shaperillis is provided by Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Hey, so there was this show called WandaVision that came out. Did you see it? Of course you did. Now, even though I really like the MCU, I nonetheless appreciated the break we got from it throughout 2020. I went into this show feeling refreshed and ready for some new shenanigans with my favorite super people. I'm pretty sure I like Scarlet Witch and Vision more than the average MCU fan, though I just wish they got more development and screen time throughout the movies. Well, they get it here, and it's pretty neat to see. Right from the start, I was hooked on this bizarre sitcom universe where we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. It was really fun and charming to watch Wanda and Vision endure all these sitcom tropes. Plus, it was cool to see their relationship fleshed out more, since the movies never really did a good job at selling me on them as a couple. The first 3 episodes are great, balancing this hilarious sitcom life with some legitimately creepy bits here and there. The show is absolutely at its best where you don't know what's going on, and you're watching these Pleasantville-esque shenanigans with just a hint of dread. Then episode 4 happens, and it's not bad. I like the characters, except Darcy. The opening goes really hard, which is appreciated. It's always cool to see stuff that happened in the immediate aftermath of the reverse snap, and it's kinda neat to finally get clarification on the creepy things that happened in the first 3 episodes. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think the mystery was a bit cooler than the actual reveals. Again, the stuff that's happening on the other side of the Westview bubble isn't bad, but I was way more invested in the stuff that was happening inside the bubble. As the episodes go on, we just keep cutting back and forth between the sitcom stuff and the real world stuff, and it just makes the show feel less unique and interesting. The stakes are still high, and I still want to know what'll happen next, but it's just ever so slightly less engaging when the mysteries are explained to the audience. Still, the best reveal in the whole show has to be fake Quicksilver. Casting the guy who played the X-Men version of the character was a stroke of genius, and unlike most people, I was totally okay with its lack of payoff. I just assumed whoever was behind this whole plot just cast a random nearby person in-universe as Quicksilver, and that random nearby person just happened to be played by Evan Peters for our benefit. I didn't expect him to literally be the X-Men version of Quicksilver in the MCU. So yeah, really brilliant move on their part. Side note, I have no idea why the MCU seems to bend over backwards in order to not cast Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver again. Like, there were so many opportunities for him to appear in a flashback and he just never does. What did the man do to piss off the mouse and never get hired again? I kind of feel really bad for him. Anyway, the series remains pretty great, but I feel like 2 episodes towards the end really kind of dropped the ball. Episode 7 followed up on a major cliffhanger where Wanda's barrier got bigger and enveloped tons of the Sword troops, as well as Darcy. What's gonna happen next? Oh, Darcy's fine. Vision just magicked her out of her trance and she's not suffering or anything under Wanda's control. She's totally fine, and we're just gonna ignore the other troops. Nobody cares, I guess. The episode just felt very stilted and uneventful and unfunny by the show's standards, with nothing significant really happening until the Agatha reveal. I think Agatha's a fine twist villain. She gets plenty of time to be evil after her reveal, though maybe a little too much time. She doesn't really do much outside of ask Wanda how she made this barrier and drain her powers a little. Just a little. Just enough to make Wanda's hands all dirty. She can't drain all the power apparently, because then how would we have the big terrible CGI battle at the end? Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Episode 8 picks things up again. It's a really good series of flashbacks where we see Wanda processing her grief at different points in her life, and some of the stuff really got to me emotionally. I especially love the moment where she sees Vision's body and says, "I can't feel you," as a reference to their "I feel you" line from Infinity War. Damn, that's some good shit. Vision's line about grief being love persevering was also good, but not nearly as good as Twitter made it out to be. Like, geez, you guys, calm down. This is not Sorkin level dialogue or anything. But it's still really good. However, by the end of the episode, I kind of realized that I just wasn't that interested in seeing how this conflict in the present would end. It kind of felt like everything I thought was cool about the show before was kind of gone now. And then the final episode happened and proved me right. Episode 9 is the worst one in the entire show by a landslide. I like Vision's conversation with White Vision and the scene where Wanda is confronted by the townspeople. Plus, Wanda saying goodbye to her kids and Vision was also pretty nice and emotional. The post-credit scene was cool, but otherwise, this episode was a damn mess. The editing is insanely choppy, the CGI is hilariously bad, and overall, a show this surreal and unique shouldn't have ended with a giant CGI battle. This finale basically has the same problem as Wonder Woman's finale. It's completely unjustified and stupid based on what came before it. Something similar to the finale of Doctor Strange would have worked wonders for this show, now that I think about it. And yeah, I know the illusion of the sitcom world is over, but the fact that we've lost all the sitcom elements by the end of this story is really disappointing, because those are the best parts of WandaVision. It was cool to see something in the MCU that wasn't overtly superhero-esque, and that's what makes the superhero-esque finale so disappointing. That, and the fact that it was executed poorly. If this was at least a cool superhero finale, it wouldn't be quite as bad. But as is, I'm comfortable calling this a bad episode of television. The only real bad one in the bunch, but the fact that it's the finale leaves a bad taste in your mouth at the end. I haven't even touched on Monica getting superpowers somehow just because she walks through Wanda's barrier, or this generic secondary villain whose name isn't even worth looking up to mention because of how generic and terrible he is. It's also pretty weird how no other superheroes show up in the show. I mean, you'd think Wanda kidnapping and enslaving an entire town would be deemed an Avengers level threat. At the very least, Doctor Strange should have checked it out. Oh well, overall this was a great concept for a show and it was mostly very entertaining, though it suffered from a lot of sloppiness in the storytelling and it could have done with less scenes in the outside world. Except the stuff with Jimmy Woo, he's very entertaining and I kinda wish they cast him in more MCU projects. Anyway, I'd still say it's worth checking out as long as you keep your expectations in check for the finale. It's a fun little character building exercise for Wanda and Vision and it sets up some really intriguing potential future stories. 7 out of 10, not a bad way to kick off phase 4 of the MCU. Maybe if they ever make a season 2 to WandaVision, it'll be a web series. The only question is, how will Wanda make a website that'll host her new show? Well, she could always use Squarespace. Squarespace is a fantastic, intuitive online website builder that allows you to create beautiful websites for your business or personal hobby. Present your work using Squarespace's professional portfolio designs. Display projects in customizable galleries and add password-protected pages to share private work with clients. You can even present your videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and Animoto on your Squarespace site. Add an image overlay to your video to improve your website's load speed by waiting to embed video players until playback starts. Every design automatically includes a unique mobile experience that matches the overall style of your website, so your content will look great on every device, every time. And if you don't want that, you can always disable the mobile view from Website Manager. Buying a domain from Squarespace is simple because there are no hidden fees or price hikes. Each domain comes with an ad-free parking page and free WHOIS privacy on eligible domains. Squarespace sells over 200 top-level domains, so you can find the perfect name for your website. Choose a URL that ends in .com, .net, .org, or if you're feeling funky, you can get a more specific one like .art. If you're ready to share your passions or promote your business with the rest of the world, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ShapeForLess to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.